said, we're going to switch over, but I'm not going to tell you, but you're going to know it. He switched it over. Everybody was calling. The nitro was in the air all over the place. Right there. We don't have his car here, but there's a Linwood chassis car right there with the 409 Chevy in. And it's an A-fuel dragster. It has a Latham supercharger on it. That's probably the first one you ever seen in your life. They didn't manufacture them on any car, but Mr. Latham made them. Mike got it, put it on that motor, then he needed fuel injection. He couldn't find anything. The carburetors that are on the side of the motor, they're off a Chevrolet Corvette, Chevrolet side draft carburetors. And it's a 409 Chevy, and it's on nitromethane. And it's a Linwood original chassis from the 50s. And Mike has it right there on display. And that is a really cool piece, right, Greg Zyla? This is Greg Zyla. Greg Zyla is a national syndicated columnist in the newspaper. Every Sunday you pick it up, you're going to see his column. He talks about dragsters, cars. Come over here. You want to use the microphone? Tell them about that Chevy you wrote last week.
1946 Chevy.
Okay, come on. You ain't going to believe this.
I don't have the voice like Frankie, but I've known this guy. I'd rather talk about him. I've known this guy most of my whole life. He's dedicated his life to motor racing and cars, and I'm happy to know him because he thinks he's nuts, but I'll tell you what, he really is a fine announcer. If you ever heard him in action at a race, he does a great job. I'm not going to talk much about that 40 Chevy Cadet, but the McPherson strut front suspension that is very common on today's cars. The guy that invented the 1946-47 Chevy Cadet, his name was Earl McPherson, and he's the guy that invented the strut suspension. And GM never put the car out, and he ended up working for Ford. But that was just a little story. I dig this stuff up in my columns. I'm just trying to give Frankie a break, you know, but I love coming to the Bloomsburg Nationals. It's my second year here, and hopefully I'll be back next year. But it's great to meet all you people, and for what you're going to see here today, and for what you're going to experience when you get in that, you'll have a good time. But it's a great show, and Frank, I'll hand it back to you now.
Okay, you know the McPherson struts, they're on your car, every one of them. This was in 1947, and he dug up a schematic of the car with all four corners with McPherson struts on. It was in last Sunday's Bloomsburg paper. I read the article 4 times. I couldn't wait to tell him about it. It is so cool. But he's been riding, he drove a funny car, he was an announcer 50 years ago. But what I wanted to tell you, I'm not bragging. After 58 years, I've been nominated for one of the top drag racing announcers in the United States for all my contributions to drag racing. I'll be inducted into the Hall of Fame January 11th at the Levelland Valley Car Show, the Drag Fest next year. And that is so cool. Thanks a lot. They called me up and they said, hey, this Frankie Burke. I said, yeah, what are you selling? They said, we're not selling nothing. I said, well, get the hell off the call. I said, I don't want no telemarketer. He said, don't hang up, don't hang up. We have good news for you. I said, how much money did I win? He said, nothing. I said, well, that's no good news. He said, still don't hang up. He said, you were nominated by a bunch of people. As soon as your name came up, it was unanimous. They said he should have got this 20 years ago. So then I cried a little bit, and I went, yeah, right, I know all about that. Then he hung up, and then I cried a whole lot. Let's get her in the car. We got $25 short of $500. Tom, we done?
We're done.
Are we done?
Put her in that car.
Okay, thank you. God bless all of you. Thank you so much. God bless you.